Hey guys, it's Megan. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing episode 1 in my Create This Book series. And I've been planning on doing this for a while. I don't know why I just never got around to it, but I actually filmed most of this video in 2017, so if the camera quality isn't as good, that is why. Create This Book is basically the same idea as Wreck This Journal. This book is by Moriah Elizabeth, who is super famous here on YouTube. I'm sure that most of you guys have heard of her, but if not, I'll link to her channel down below. So with all that being said, let's just get into the video. So the first thing that I decided to do in my Create This Book was to decorate the edges. I didn't do anything fancy with this since the book is just going to expand and you won't be able to see the edges when you're done really anyways, so I just did a alternating pattern of blue, purple, and pink. And now that I checked that off the list, it's time to do the cover. I decorated the cover of my book by using acrylic paint. I used a mixture of blue, purple, and black acrylic paint to create a galaxy effect. I first applied the paint with a paintbrush and then I used a sponge to blend it out. I repeated this process until the whole front of the book was covered. If you were on YouTube around like 2012 or 2013, I'm sure you know how to paint a galaxy. One layer of paint wasn't enough to cover the whole front cover, so I added a second layer. This time I also added in a little bit of white. And again, I just applied it with a regular paintbrush and then I went in and blended it out with a sponge. I used a paper towel to blend out some of the harder to reach areas. And once that was done, I used the end of a paintbrush and I dipped it in some white acrylic paint to add stars. I made the stars more concentrated on the white areas and spread them out more on the other areas. And then I colored in the little like splat thing, I don't know what to call this, but I colored it in with a purple colored pencil. I also used some like glitter Crayola paint on top of the colored pencil, but I couldn't find the clip of that, so yeah. So here's a look at the finished cover, and I covered the whole entire thing with some clear packing tape so that none of the paint would come off. And I couldn't find any footage of me painting the back, but I did it the exact same way. And I'm pretty sure that I colored in the little crayon in the paintbrush and the tape in with some colored pencils. And here's what the side looked like. Again, I'm pretty sure that I colored this in with colored pencils as well. And once I had customized the front cover, it was time to customize this page. I'm not sure what happened to the footage of me doing this, but again, I did it basically the exact same way. It looks like I painted the galaxy and then I drew the alien and the cats and all of that stuff on a separate sheet of paper, and then I cut that out and then I glued it on top. So the first actual page that I decided to work on was the one that says, create a pair, draw a set of twins. So I found this from an old Mary-Kate and Ashley tape and I decided to cut out all of these pictures of them. I also had some magazine clippings that I got at like a yard sale. This person was selling a bunch of like Mary-Kate and Ashley stuff like real cheap, so I also put those in there as well. And here's how the finished page turned out. And obviously I didn't draw a set of twins, but I still think that this qualifies. I also did the Create a Page for Stickers page in 2017. Basically, I just took some stickers and put them on the page. Let me know in the comments which sticker on this page is your favorite. Mine is this iCarly one that says hold your sauce. So those were all of the pages that I did in 2017, so now we're up to the pages that I'm doing this year. So I started with this create a rule page because I never created a rule. So I went with something pretty simple for my rule, and that was to put the date and something purple on every single page. So I decided to turn the rule box into a calendar. For the actual box, I made it like where a picture for a calendar would go, so I cut out a heart out of a piece of scrapbook paper and then I wrote the rule on the heart using a white gel pen. I filled in the box with this black heart printed washi tape to make the background. I used an X-Acto knife to trim the edges, making sure not to cut through the paper. I cut out another heart out of light purple paper and then I glued it behind the heart with the rule on it. And then I colored in the little gavel on the top of the page with some brown colored pencils, and then I colored in the background with a purple colored pencil. And this purple colored pencil was actually a watercolor pencil. And since I can't use a colored pencil to save my life, I decided to go over the watercolor pencil with some water to smooth it out. And this was kind of a mistake because this paper is honestly not the best, like it's not very good for watercolor, so it made it curl up a lot. But it still turned out okay. And here's how the finished page turned out. I'm not exactly sure what to do with the left side of the page, so if you have any suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments. The next page that I decided to do is the one that says create letters. Fill this page with letters. Try to look at letters in a new way. Use them for aesthetic value rather than trying to spell anything. So for the letters, I decided to use these letter stickers that I had left over, but I ran out of all of the A's on these letter stickers, and once you run out of A's, you're basically like, these stickers are useless, so I just stuck them all over the page. And I put a few of them like sideways and upside down to make it a little bit more interesting. And once I had all of the letter stickers on the page, I began the arduous task of going in and drawing like squiggly lines and then coloring them in. And yeah, this took a while. This took like 2 hours, and it doesn't look like it would take that long, but it did. I used all of the colors of the rainbow, so I used red, orange, yellow, green, purple, and blue, and then I also used pink. And I just used my Crayola colored pencils to do this instead of my Prismacolor ones because I found that the Prismacolor colored pencils, they like rub off onto the other page, and I didn't want that, so I decided to use the Crayola ones. And here's how the finished page turned out. I really love the look of this, even if it did take me a while. And if this looks familiar to any of you guys, it might be because I also did this in my Wreck This journal. Which, by the way, I did not forget about this. I am determined to finish this year. Last year was just so bad and I just didn't work on it at all. But don't worry, I did not forget about my Wreck This journal. Shout out to Sydney, she keeps asking me about it. Girl, it is coming, I promise. And the last page that I decided to do this week said create a collection. Start a collection, document it here. Draw it, photograph it, or attach it to this page. And so for some reason I already painted this page purple again in 2017. I don't know where I was going with this, but I decided to work with it. So I decided to document my pin collection. I have these pins hanging up on a corkboard in my room. I decided to do pencil rubbings with them, so I took a piece of paper and then I just colored over the pin basically. And this definitely works better for some pins than others, but once I had all of the pin rubbings done, I cut them out and then I glued them onto the page. And obviously, I didn't do rubbings of all of my pins because they're not all like enamel pins. Some of them are like smooth ones, and also some of the rubbings just didn't come out so good. But here's what the finished page looked like. And obviously, I still have to add the date to this page. And I don't know if I really like this or not, like, I don't know, but maybe I'll redo it later. Today's shout out goes to Pine Starburst 1099 on Instagram, who did this amazing drawing of me. If you want a shout out in my next video, go on to my video that I posted yesterday and comment what your favorite season is. Mine is either summer or fall. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I promise that I'll do like actual like more drawings in the next video. I just was getting some of the like easier things out of the way this time. So make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and make sure to follow me on Instagram. It is @WellerMegs. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!